Has she been conscious at all since?
That I don't know. I couldn't say, sir.
Was she unconscious when she was brought in?
Yes, sir. She's out now, I believe.
She was in full shock when she got here.
What's her condition?
Serious, but I think she'll be all right. I think she'll live.
Behind these windows of Mercy Hospital overlooking Biscayne Bay lies little Terry Jo Duperoff, still recovering from her ordeal aboard the Catch Bluebell.
What were her first words?
Her name.
She said anything else?
No word.
Is there any indication that there might be somebody else on it?
Well, there's always possibility wherever there's hope, and we certainly have hope the search is going to continue.
Do you think of any reason why he would do it or what he did?
None other than that I have known him for these many years, and I think that he had found the dream girl of his life, and since he's been back and since I picked him up at the airport, I would say that he has been in a very deep state of shock. And I think that he was still in that condition and possibly had never come out of it until the time of his death.
I was awakened by my brother screaming, and it was the type of a scream that it set me on edge. I knew something terrible had happened.
It was a came out here in the kitchen. My mother and brother were lying there, and there was a big pool of blood.
I think I went into shock because I didn't go and touch them, and I think I knew they were dead. I was very trusting, and I thought that something bad had happened and that he didn't want me to see what had happened.
He didn't kill Terry Jo because he knew the boat was sinking. She was a goner.
I decided that I couldn't stay there any longer because the water was making my mattress float, so I waded through and I went on top of the deck again.
Terry Jo somehow had the presence of mind to remember that there was a life float lashed to the deck.
I knew the boat was going down, and it was do this or die. I scrambled over the sails to the top of the deck where I knew a cork raft was, untied it, threw it over the side, and got in it.
I huddled in this raft, and it was very dark, and I was motionless and silent, and I just stayed that way and stayed that way. It finally dawned on me that there was something evil about Captain Harvey, and I was very fearful that he would find me. I was sitting in this cork raft, and the bottom was interlaced rope, and the only position I could be in was sitting. And the parrotfish started picking at me through the rope. I had a dream that I could see the blue lights of an airport, the landing strip, and I could see that my parents were waiting for me at the end of the landing strip. I was going to meet them. I jumped out of the raft, and jumping out of the raft awakened me, and fortunately I hadn't let go, and I scrambled back in.
The life raft that she was able to get off of the Bluebell was white. wave caps are white. And it was just impossible to see this little white oval thing bouncing around on the ocean surrounded by these white waves.
There was a red search plane that came so close to me I could almost reach up and grab it. I took my blouse off and I waved it thinking, and I was screaming and thinking that, you know, I'm here, I'm here. Don't you see me? They flew off and it was very disheartening.
A Greek freighter was going through the Providence Channel in the Bahamas, and one of the men on deck, he was looking out across the sea that was covered with whitecaps, but he noticed in the distance one whitecap that didn't seem to disappear.
The man in the lookout spotted me with his binoculars and at first thought that I was a fisherman, and then realized that a fisherman wouldn't be out in such a little boat.
It must have seemed like something completely unreal because she was almost in a coma at that point in time.
I was almost dead from exposure and dehydration. My heart rate was irregular. My kidneys weren't working. So I was near death.
Has she been conscious at all since?
That I don't know. I couldn't say, sir.
Was she unconscious when she was brought in?
Yes, sir. She's out now, I believe.
Behind these windows of Mercy Hospital overlooking Biscayne Bay lies little Terry Jo Duperalt, still recovering from her ordeal aboard the Ketch Bluebell.
She was in full shock when she got here.
What were her first words?
Her name.
Just her name. She said anything else?
Say anything? No word.
Express any feeling? Any pain?
Vibrating. No words.
What's her condition?
Serious, but I think she'll be all right. I think she'll live.
It is concluded that the Ketch Bluebell was intentionally scuttled. It is further concluded that Arthur Duperalt, Jean Duperalt, Brian Duperalt, and Mary Jordan Harvey lost their lives at the hands of Julian A. Harvey prior to the sinking of the vessel. The exact nature of the circumstances whereby these lives were lost, or the order in which they perished, cannot be ascertained. It is further concluded that the motives for the acts of Julian A. Harvey cannot be ascertained. However, the fact that he was the sole beneficiary of his wife's insurance policy and that he was sorely in need of funds must be considered.
What was Terry Jo's attitude during the interview?
She was very composed. I was surprised at the amount of fortitude and courage that she has shown throughout. We asked her several times if she was getting tired and wanted to stop, but she said no. She answered all questions in a very frank and forthright and honest manner. She is quite a young lady.
I love my aunt and uncle dearly. And to this day, they're my parents. But at that time, I never wanted to let go of my mom and dad. And so growing up, it was very difficult. I didn't believe my father was dead because I had not seen him. I would just pick up and leave on a whim. So I would drive to like North Carolina Beach looking for my dad. I was always searching. I did that for many, many years until I was about 35, then I accepted it finally.
It's a testimony to the strength of the human will and the human spirit. It's a morality tale. It's a story of more than surviving. It's a story of the power of evil, but the refusal of the human spirit to be dominated by evil.
If you're put in a situation that is challenging, you have to adapt to whatever the circumstances are and go with the flow. And I think that anybody that does this can survive.
I'm so fortunate that I had my family. I hope that I can just continue to be healthy and happy and, have the wonderful love that I share with my family and friends.